CEC receives 20 recall petitions, final decision expected by February 28. Taiwanese concerned about medical aid abroad after Barbie sues death. Taiwan's largest indoor cannabis farm busted, ringleaders jailed. Companies are dodging Trump tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. 7 killed in Philadelphia medical jet crash. Fighting rages between rebels and army in the DR of Congo. Crucial highway cut off as Australian floods worsen. Beyoncé finally wins Best Album.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Tuesday, February 4th, and here are your top stories. In local news, the Central Election Commission announced that it received 20 recall petitions today. According to election laws, local election commissions must verify and respond by February 23rd, and the CEC will complete its final review by February 28th. Following Barbie Xu's passing in Japan, concerns arise over medical assistance abroad. The MOFA advised seeking help from embassies, using emergency hotlines, or contacting global AIDS associations for support. Hsinchu police uncovered Taiwan's largest cannabis factory, seizing 4,519 plants with 2 billion NT dollars. Ringleader Ci Zhenxun was sentenced to 10 years, while Lin Jingcong received 6 years and 2 months for drug manufacturing. And in global news, President Donald Trump's tariffs against China, Canada, and Mexico targets a trade provision that helps fuel the explosive growth of budget online retailers, including Temu and Shein. Trump on Saturday signed executive orders imposing tariffs on the country's top 3 trading partners. Goods imported from Canada and Mexico will be subject to a 25% tariffs, while goods from China will be charged a 10% tax. Energy resources from Canada will be a lower 10% tariff.
The orders against China, Canada, and Mexico all halt a trade exemption known as de minimis, which allows exporters to ship packages worth less than $800 into the U.S. duty-free. The de minimis provision has existed since the 1930s, but its use has come under increasing scrutiny in recent years. The Biden administration took steps last September to curb the overuse and abuse of de minimis, arguing that it has helped Chinese e-commerce companies undercut competitors with lower prices. Officials have also argued that de minimis shipments are subject to minimal documentation and inspection, raising product safety concerns. The U.S. processed more than 1.3 billion de minimis shipments in 2024, up from 139 million in 2015.
A small medical transport plane crashed into several buildings in Philadelphia on Friday evening, killing all 6 people on board and at least 1 other person on the ground. The jet was on a medical transport trip heading to Tijuana, Mexico, with a short stopover in Missouri. It was carrying a child patient and her mother, along with 2 pilots, a doctor, and a paramedic. They were all Mexican nationals, but just 1 minute after takeoff, the Learjet 55 plummeted to the ground. Video showed the plane coming down quickly and sparking a huge fireball.
19 others were injured, though Mayor Cherelle Parker said that number could still change. Philadelphia City Managing Director Adam Thiel said it would probably be days or more before officials are able to confirm the number of folks who perished in this tragedy and the outcome of those who were injured. He added that there are still a lot of unknowns about who was where when the crash happened. The girl being transported to Mexico had just finished medical treatment for a life-threatening illness at Shriners Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. Earlier on Friday, staff had thrown her a party to celebrate. He added that the staff who treated her had been impacted very deeply by news of the tragedy.
A deadly insurgence is sweeping the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country 3 times the size of Texas that is estimated to hold trillions of dollars worth of minerals essential to smartphones, computers, and electric vehicle batteries. The rebel group M23 is vying to expand its control by pushing south from Goma in the most dramatic escalation of the decade-old conflict in 13 years. The United Nations has warned that the conflict is at risk of spiraling into a war in a region that is no stranger to bitter fighting.
After seizing control of Goma, a key city in the east of the country, earlier this week, M23's leader, Corneille Nangaa, vowed to take the battle all the way to the country's capital, Kinshasa. Meanwhile, the Congolese government called for a massive mobilization, and President Félix Tshisekedi vowed to reconquer every inch of our territory. War has raged for years in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. While it may seem remote to the United States, the impact of the latest developments will reverberate around the world. The DRC is the world's largest producer of cobalt, a key mineral used to make the lithium-ion batteries that go into electric vehicles and smartphones.
Australian authorities are scrambling to help isolated communities in Queensland after a flooding emergency forced thousands of evacuations, cut powers to homes, and washed away sections of a vital highway. The flooding has claimed a woman's life and caused havoc across the state's north, with residents in Townsville, Ingham, and Cardwell among the hardest hit. Record downpours are set to continue, with parts of the region already experiencing almost 1.3 meters of rain since Saturday, causing rivers and reservoirs to overflow.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who was briefed about the response efforts on Monday, said that the disaster had brought out the best of Australians. He wrote on X, "I've seen Australians helping one another in their time of need," adding that the threat from floodwaters would persist in affected areas for days. Efforts to assist the hardest-hit areas have been hindered by flood damage to parts of the Bruce Highway, the main thoroughfare stretching 1,673 kilometers from the state's south. This included the partial collapse of a bridge, which could add an extra 700 kilometers to driving routes and slow down the delivery of critical supplies. About 2,000 homes could be inundated as water levels rise before their expected peak on Tuesday.
Correcting what was widely seen as a historic wrong, Beyoncé won Best Album at the 67th Grammy Awards in Los Angeles. The star was recognized for her 8th album, Cowboy Carter, which celebrates and contextualizes the black roots of country music. She had previously been passed over for the ceremony's main prize on 4 separate occasions. As her name was read out, Beyoncé hugged her daughter Blue Ivy, then her husband Jay-Z, before walking to the stage in a gold paisley dress to accept the trophy. She said, "I just feel very full and very honored. It's been many, many years."
The singer dedicated her award to Linda Martell, one of the pioneers of black musicians in country music and the first black woman to perform solo at the Grand Ole Opry. The star's victory comes 25 years after her first Grammy nomination as part of the R&B group Destiny's Child. She went on to become the most awarded artist in Grammy's history, with a haul of 35 trophies, but the main prize eluded her until Sunday night. Focusing on country and Americana, Cowboy Carter is the second part of a trilogy of albums that interrogates American musical traditions and uncovers the often unheralded contributions made by black artists. Notably, it makes Beyoncé the first black woman to win Album of the Year since 1999.
The answer for yesterday was B, fraction. Only a fraction of the applicants were accepted into the program. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Companies are dodging Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. Number 1, explosive, 爆炸性的. The company experienced explosive growth in sales after launching its new product. Number 2, impose, 强加. The government decided to impose a heavy tax on luxury goods. Number 3, be subject to, 受影响. All passengers are subject to security checks before boarding the plane. Now we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. You can write your answer in the comments section and the correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.